My youngest granddaughter came up to the home in June, and she stood in the door of my shop and asked me what half the things on the wall were. Not to be smart, she just didn't know. So I took down a little iron wheel on a handle, about 7 3/4 inches across, a thing I could buy at a farm sale for $2, and I asked all four of my grandchildren one at a time to name it. Not one of them could. Then I named the four hanging next to it, and they couldn't name one of those either. My grandmother Vessie could have named every tool in that shed, and she never swung one of them. She just knew the way you know your own kitchen. It isn't that the tools are gone, they're right there on the nail. It's that the reading of them is gone, and a tool you can't read is just a shape. I went and read on all five of these after to be sure I had them right. Here's the twist. Number two, I called by the wrong name the better part of my life, and a man in Maine had it right in 1858. Number four, you must never hit, not once, and I'll tell you what it costs you if you do. And number one is the cheapest thing on that wall, a couple dollars, and it's the only one I can't hand back to you no matter how long we sit here. These aren't quaint. Every one of them was how somebody kept a roof up, a wheel under a load, a chair under a body, and there's fewer people left who can use them right than there are who can even name them. Let's count them down. Number five, the Traveler. It's that little iron wheel I showed my grandchildren, and it did one job. A wheelwright rolled it around the rim of a wagon wheel, counting the turns, and that told him the exact distance around the wheel. Then he cut a band of iron to match, only he cut it a hair short on purpose, welded it into a hoop, and built a fire around it till it come up white hot and swelled bigger than the wheel. Two men dropped that glowing hoop over the wood and doused the whole thing with water directly, and as the iron cooled, it shrank down and squeezed every spoke and every section of the rim together, tight as a fist, and it stayed that way for years. That's iron shrinking when it cools, the same reason a canning lid pops down. The wheelwright I knew wouldn't tell you how much short he cut it. He called it his own business, and he was right. Measure it too long and the tire rolls off in the road. Too short, and it splits the wheel coming down. Here's where these stop being handy and start being how a place keeps itself standing. Number four, the Slick. It looks like a chisel that got left out in the rain and grew. A blade 3 or 4 inches wide with a handle near 2 feet long, and the first thing everybody wants to do is take a mallet to it. You don't. A slick is pushed, never struck. You set the edge on the joint, brace the butt end up against your shoulder, and lean your whole body into it slow, and it peels a shaving off a timber the length of your arm, flat and clean, where a saw would leave a mess to fix. The weight does it, and the low grind of the edge does it. You're just steering. There's one real safety point here, and I'll not skip past it. That edge will take skin to the bone before you feel it start, so you never get a hand or a knee out in front of where it's traveling. Brace behind it, push away from yourself, and hit a slick like a chisel, and you've ruined the one thing it was ever any good for. Number three, the Scorp. Some call it an in-shave. Take a draw knife, the two-handled blade you pull toward you, and bend it around into most of a circle, and that's a Scorp. It's got one job nothing else does as well, which is to hollow. You pull it toward you, and it scoops out the inside of a curve a flat blade can't reach, the seat of a chair, a feed trough, a dough bowl. Coopers use them first, cleaning out the inside of a barrel. The curve of the blade is the whole thing. It rides down into a low spot and shears the wood out across the grain in a curl. My grandmother Vessie had a dough bowl her mother left her, worn thin and pale in the middle from 60 years of biscuit, and every hollow in it come out of a tool just like this one. A scorp has no mouth to stop it the way a plane does, nothing but the hand holding it. Dig a horn of it in too deep, and you tear a gouge out of that bowl you cannot put back. From here down, every one of these is still worth money to somebody who knows the name. Number 2. I called this a cant hook the better part of 60 years, and I had it wrong. It's a Peavey. Both are a long lever with a hinged hook that bites a log so you can roll it, but a cant hook has a blunt toe, and a Peavey has an iron spike on the end. That spike is the whole difference, and the difference has a name and a date. A blacksmith named Joseph Peavey up in Stillwater, Maine, watched some rivermen fighting a logjam in 1858, and he went to his shop and built the thing that afternoon. His family's company is still making them in Maine right now. I went and read on it after, and I'd rather tell you I had it wrong than let it stand. Honest is better than impressive. The hook grabs, and the handle gives you the reach of 3 men, so a log you couldn't budge rolls over easy, and a rolling log doesn't care what you meant to do. You never stand downhill of what you're moving, not once. The last one takes a lifetime, and it's down to a handful who can still do it. Number 1. The Froe. It's the plainest thing on the wall, an L of iron with a handle, and at a farm sale you'll pay $2 for it, maybe $3. You set the edge on the end of a log, hit the back of it with a wooden club, and then you lever the handle and the wood splits open along its own grain. Riving, it's called. When you split wood instead of sawing it, the split follows the long fibers and never cuts across them. So a board that comes off a froe is stronger and sheds water instead of drinking it. Let the split run out, though, and the board's lost, and you'll not glue a drive back together. A sawn shingle has cut ends all over its face for the rain to soak into, and that's why the old split roofs outlasted them. Now, I'll be straight with you, because I've heard this one oversold. A hand-split roof does not last forever. Good cedar driven right will give you 30 years, maybe 50 in a dry spot, and then it's done. And a fair part of that is the cedar fighting off rot as much as the froe. A shingle maker named Peter Gott down in the Smokies replaced the cedar roofs on his own place at around 23 years. That's the honest number. Here's the money in it, and it's quieter than a secret. When a man dies and nobody in the family can name what's in his shed, that shed sells as a box lot, $20 or $30 for the whole of it, a couple dollars a tool. And a fella who knows the names comes along, pulls the froe and the slick out of that box, and sells them one at a time for $40, $60, $90 apiece. I'm not telling you there was a meeting. There wasn't. The name is just worth money, and the man who kept it makes it, and the family that lost it doesn't. But the froe is number 1 for a different reason. It's the cheapest tool here, and it's the only one I can't hand back to you, because the froe is just iron. What made it work was the man reading the log, knowing which board would run out before he ever swung the club, feeling the split start to wander and leaning the handle to steer it back. I can buy you the froe this afternoon. I can't buy you the 20 years of reading logs. There were men on this creek could rive a straight board off a red oak by eye, no line, no measure, and know before they started which end to take. There's not one left who can, and I'm not one of them. So here's my challenge, and it's easy. Go to an estate sale or a farm auction this week and find the one tool in the junk box that nobody standing there can name. Buy it. It'll cost you $1 or $2. Take it home and read on it till you can tell somebody what it is and what it did. That's how the names stay alive, one shed at a time. Then tell me in the comments, and I mean one specific thing. What's the tool in your shed that come down to you from somebody that you can't rightly name? Whose was it, and what county did it come out of? I read every one of these, and what you all send back is the whole reason I keep doing it. That's how it was done. Now somebody else knows.